Hey guys, I'm Traci Copeland and this is Good Moves with Well+Good. Right now we're doing a quick stretch that you can do after you work out. I have 5 different moves that you can do for about 30 seconds each. I feel like your post-workout recovery is often ignored. We want to make sure that we're getting a stretch in after any workout that we do. Whether you've done a 10-mile run, a 3-mile run, done a dance class, or done a strength or high intensity workout, you want to give yourself enough time to stretch, whether it's just 5 minutes or even less, just a little bit of time at the end of the workout. It's so important, especially for injury prevention and your recovery. Let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start in a seated butterfly position. So I want you to bring the soles of your feet together, sitting nice and tall, and you can grab a hold of your ankles, just holding here. And this one is great because it stretches your inner thighs. And for me, I tend to get really tight, not just in my hamstrings, but my inner thighs, especially after I run. So this is great for my runners, but it's also great for anybody who's just done a strength workout or a HIIT workout, or if you're a spinner or a cyclist. But what you could also do is, to get a little bit more intensity, is press gently on one side, holding it, or you can press on the other side. You can also go a little bit longer if you have the time. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to hamstring stretch. So I'm just gonna kind of form like a seated tree pose, I would call it. Just bringing the heel towards my inner thigh and just reaching for that foot and getting nice and tall throughout my spine and kind of leading with a nice flat back. And as much as possible, keeping this left hip grounded. This is just another great way to stretch out the hamstring. So we're working those big muscle groups, the ones that we tend to use the most, whether we're going for a run, we're doing a strength class, or we're taking a spin class. It's great for any type of workout. All right, let's go ahead and take it to the opposite side, getting into that hamstring, and go ahead and pull it gently towards you. And once again, we've talked about running, we've talked about strength training. I love running outside, so maybe before I even go inside and get showered, I just allow myself the time to take a nice little stretch outside. It's a perfect way to recover, and you can still cool down, especially as the sun is setting. What a great way to kind of unwind. All right, we're gonna move into our next bigger muscle group. I'm gonna focus on our quads. So I'm gonna start with my right leg back, and I'm just gonna go ahead. What I like to do is kind of keep this foot flexed and then just lean back. And you can lean as far back or as little as you need to. Some people can just feel the deepening of that quad stretch just by sitting right here, but some people need to go a little bit deeper, especially if you're running stairs, you're doing a spin class. Again, it's just another big muscle group that you have to make sure that you focus on, even for just 30 seconds or less. All right, let's go ahead and take it to the opposite side. And once again, I've said that we're doing each static stretch for about 30 seconds, but if you have the time, you can hold it longer, okay? So just as long as you're not just holding it for something like 2 minutes. I always recommend at least 30 seconds, maybe even a minute. You can focus on that one area, especially if you're sore, So making sure that you're giving yourself enough time, even after the workout. Everybody has time to do the workout. Make sure you have time to stretch also. Your body will thank you later. All right, let's go ahead and take it to our seated spinal twist. So I'm gonna hug one knee into my chest, get nice and tall in my spine, and just take a nice opening of my chest, looking over the opposite elbow. And this is getting into kind of my glutes a little bit more, kind of more my piriformis, my medial glutes, that muscle group. So we're focusing on everything: the hamstrings, the calves, the quads, the glute max, the glute min, the abductors, the adductors. So we get a little bit of everything in just 5 minutes or less. Let's go ahead and take it to the opposite side. Stay tall, stay lifted, and hug that knee into your chest, looking over the opposite shoulder. Good. And at the bottom of every exhale, this is, I'm gonna talk about breathing for a second. That's gonna allow yourself to get a little bit deeper into each stretch. So you're not just holding, just to hold it, but allow yourself to, you have to push yourself when it comes to stretching as well. Otherwise, you're just gonna stay exactly where you are and you won't gain any mobility. Less about flexibility, more about mobility. Okay, let's go ahead and make our way into the calves. So you're gonna come into a downward dog position and upside down V, just stretching one leg at a time, making sure that the fingers are nice and spread on the mat. You're just kind of going back and forth between your right leg and your left leg with ease and control. And the calves, especially if you're doing a lot of explosive work or power work, your calves are gonna probably be one of the first things that tend to tighten up. So you wanna make sure you get those bad boys nice and loose after your workout. Okay, feel free to hold each stretch as long as you want to or repeat as much as you want to. I just recommend that you do it for at least 30 seconds. You know your body. Just try to allow yourself and give yourself the time to find a little bit more mobility so you can recover faster and prevent injuries. Thanks so much for joining. My name is Traci Copeland. This is Good Moves with Well and Good. You want more good moves, you want more good stretches? Subscribe to Well and Good right now.